So today I'm just focusing one thing that how you can basically build company from this tiny country, because Estonia is 1.3 million people. So this is like one area in Paris, just that's it what we have. Tallinn is 400,000, that's it. But we have 4 unicorns now, which means we have the highest per capita in the world for the unicorns. But let's see, let's see, is this working now? Yes. So I have doing other things as well than Pipedrive, but I have been mostly spending my time in the marketing and manager. Even I have been coding in the beginning. Before joining Startup Life, I was working in media, and I had my failed startup, which was United Dogs and Cats, which was a social network for dog lovers. We had many users also in France. And then I started Pipedrive, which is why I'm here. And today I'm more and more also helping to build startup founders skill sharing platform LIFT99, and also doing now angel investments. But most importantly, I'm dog lover. This is my dog, Estonian Hound. He's in Pipedrive, he has title Chief Happiness Officer. He has been every day delivering happiness into the office and so on. And he has been very happy because we have won also title, the best company to work in Estonia. So I think that he has done a great job. So this is just latest news which we had 2 months ago, even though, let me be frank, fundraising news are not important. This is totally overrated, like only success what you ever get is building your product to the clients and getting them to pay. So, but still, this was the news, and indeed. So this is our team. We started 2010. We have 5 founders. We had extremely big luck to have basically perfect match of the founders. 2 coders, 2 sales guys, and then I'm middle of the everything. And this mix has been one of the secret sauce why we have been so successful as we are. And this was how we started. We was first, why we are doing the company and why we are doing CRM. And the key element is that it just usually, at least this point, was too many CRMs are so complicated and complex that people don't want to use it. And if you don't want to use CRM, how we can help you? It can't. And other thing which was good, we were so naive that we basically from the first day from Thailand said, we will take battle to Salesforce. People was like, oh my God, those guys are nuts. Because if you go to San Francisco, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 skyscrapers, Salesforce. But we was from Thailand, we didn't say that. We didn't know they exist. But it was like, fuck it, let's take this battle, just let's build a company which will take Salesforce. But we actually made decision that we wanna, and this is, which was basically our first view, which we did in 2 months. Basically, we started to use it after 2 months, and this was the first view. It hasn't actually changed so much. Indeed, we have built so many things. This is how it looks like. It's everywhere. But our aim was from the day one, how we can build software which focusing sales guy. Not a manager, which 80% of CRMs are done, because who is usually pushing you to use it is a manager. But if it was who is using it is a sales guy. How we can follow this person's life, ups and downs, and building software which is designed by his life. And exactly building software which is so easy to use, like you would use Facebook or whatever, because whoever has seen videos how to use Facebook, none. But usually in CRM world, you need to go to training and other things. So our aim has been from beginning, how we can build self-serving CRM. You just go, you look the video, and you are at least good to go to add your first deal. That has been our case from the day one, basically taking absolutely different approach. So, and I'm more and more believer, by the way, that we have edge in Europe, and especially Eastern Europe, to build great companies. Because Silicon Valley is not scaling anymore. If you start your company, Silicon Valley, you have to compete with Facebook, Google, and so on. Just you have even engineers in your team. How you can scale into we have today 400 people. We have office in Thailand, in London, New York, Lisbon. We just opened Prague. But our engineering heart is still in Estonia. We have 300 people in Estonia, and we don't need to compete. Like, we have the best engineers from the Ukraine, Estonia, Russia, and so on. So we can be much more effective. We can basically deliver, like, and you know, there is no cheap labor anywhere in the world. Just don't get it wrong, you know. But hiring people in Eastern Europe, it's just, they're also more loyal, by the way. So it's just not jump, you know, after 6 months to the next, you know, like company and so on. And it's heavily important that you can build your like company culture with the loyal people. And this is in Europe, because Silicon Valley, it's just, I have lived there and I totally like and love Silicon Valley. But my head is exploding if I have to think how I can grow from 0 to 500 people in California. It's crazy. So that's why I believe that, you know, in Europe we have the edge. You know, we have, especially I'm a big fan of Eastern Europe because we have strong education, you have very smart engineers, and then indeed no marketing and sales. Because like you know, in Estonia, like if you want to live, you have to go global first day. You will die because you have 1.3 million people. Like, you know, you reach your capacity, or like your old client, you have met your clients after 6 months basically. Because it's 1.3 million people. What also is the problem, you know? All of Estonia is so advanced, you know, like I can just do everything on internet and they actually demand different product. Send people in France, different US and so on. So we have in Estonia the attitude that if you don't go to global in day one, you will die. It's just you build wrong product. That's the biggest problem. So even those are indeed some examples, but still, like, you know, like indeed there is no VCs in Estonia. Come on, like, you know, we have some angels, but how you can have VCs in a country which has 1.3 million people? Impossible. So you need to like build a product, go to the market, and in our case it was US. Yeah. So but I still big fan of the Estonia because in Estonia I'm extremely like effective. There is almost no traffic jams, you know. I can walk to the office 25 minutes with my dog, you know. That's Estonia. And yeah, I'm a big fan of Estonia, so I'm just, I basically today I'm here and I needed to cancel meeting with Prime Minister because we have also a roundtable with Prime Minister who actually listens and delivers the results. So anyway, this is, and yeah, like everybody knows that Taxify is from Estonia, Skype, TransferWise, Starship, and there are many things which are now bubbling this country, which is just tiny, tiny kingdom somewhere. But let's go to the like back, which I believe why we have been successful and what we did right, because we did so many mistakes. It's just huge amount of mistakes. And I try to be extremely like practical, sharing some things that worked and also some things that didn't work. But maybe the thing was like you know, building in thing in the Europe, or especially in Eastern Europe, you're focusing immediately like not the funding, which is nice thing, but like how you can build product and deliver a result for the client. Because you just can't go and fundraise like 5 million because you have been finishing Stanford. This is what happens in Silicon Valley. You have just one goal. If you can get into Stanford, you can fundraise whatever money after that because check mark. In Estonia, we have Tartu University, great one, but no one knows. So that's why I would say that especially in B2B, you know, like you need to really like nail this. What's the problem? Who's the real user? And do you really know what's the problems around that? We had extremely luck. We had 2 sales guys in the team who have been working in sales forever. So basically, we didn't need to go out. We just designed, and then was going out. But this is the crucial part, you know. And you know, even today, if someone joins Pipedrive, they have first 2 weeks of onboarding, every single person, which includes 1 week in customer support. So you actually read what problems clients have with our product, and you're really trying to understand what is the salespeople problems using our software. So this is our DNA. And yeah, like I have been using my own product for the whatever thing, even like basically renting out my apartment, because it's fully, you can like fully customize that. And we had even event in companies which every coder hated. that we had event when everybody needed to go to the street and sell books for the 3 hours. And you know, in Nordics, we actually don't like we speak with other people. Like you know, no emotions. Like if someone speak and it's this Estonian or Finnish, they looks like this, hello, and just looking like, you know, like that. So sales is opposite. I have been in 80 countries, so I have been training myself to speak here and not just, you know, shaking on the stage. So that's why those things are extremely hard for especially engineers from Estonia, but it's helping to understand what's the sales. So other things, this was our like, we really like this, like our original website, what we had, you know. You feel like you're in the Porsche because this dashboard is really fancy. And, but there's a few things like the reason why we basically succeeded when 2011, we was going to US and we was part of AngelPad, which at this moment was the best accelerator. And they said that, guys, test it out. Maybe this is not the best way how to get clients in US. So this was the next version what we had, basically. The first one and next. So what's the guess what happened with conversion? Any thoughts? 3 times. And you know why? We had even joke, you know, like said, basically, this is what American people are pushing, and this is German people. Because they want to read all of those things, especially if someone hacked Angela Merkel mobile phone. And this is still true today. And now we have this extremely bad law, GPRS. Now this is good law, but it cost for us 2 million, so just to comply with that. So, and that's what we learned, basically being in US, basically. Because even though I'm a big fan of building company from Europe, you need to live next to your customer. And you just can't do that reading the news and watching YouTube and so on. So this is the things what we changed if it was in US. The one thing how Pipedrive is extremely different from many B2B startups in Silicon Valley is that we have basically 33% of our client base in US, which means 67 is global. Or if you start from US, you have total opposite. You have 80% in US and 20% in globally. And this is our possibilities. And we, you know, it's easy in Estonia. Like no one speaks Estonian after Estonians, which have just 1 million. So we need to do anyway language versions. And I think that this is trickier here. You guys, you love your own language, you know. I have challenges because, like, I don't know how many percent, but, you know, taxi driver don't speak English, you know. This is fine. But in Estonia, you can go to the village and people speak English because it's just, otherwise you can't communicate with people who are not Estonians. So we basically started to build localization from we had 100 clients. And like the second, I think that one thing which was extremely successful is Portuguese language. So we are the biggest player in Brazil. And you know, in Brazil, I'm like, if I go to any conference, people lining up, they want to do selfies or whatever, because for some reason, we was getting from one blog post so much traction in Brazil because there was absolutely less competitors. And we have 16 languages. There is different stages how to do that. And still 70% users are using English, but still, you basically, this gives you edge how to go to market and compete with guys from Silicon Valley, which is super important, you know. So it all starts with KPI. So this was our original KPI. We had like the screen, basically, which counted that we had first traction and somebody paid 19 euros, and this was this month's revenue. And this radio did boom, boom. It's like, yes, money comes in. Everybody knows. There was a tiny problem. It was so bad when we had more revenue. So we need to kill it. But we still had like the dashboard, which is still existing. I just can't show it what happens now because it's going nuts with the numbers, you know. But every single member in our team did know how much we do revenue and blah, 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 because we need really have everybody on the board if you are compete with huge beast in US. So KPIs, once more. If you're building, you need to be focused actually the results. So other thing what we did, and which is still our basically the DNA and culture, is that Pipedrive started basically from the weekend hackathon. Because after my first startup failed, I needed to go back and do some, just consulting, whatever. We was bootstrapping basically, I think, at 16 months. So we just gathered us into the weekend, go to the countryside, just switch off everything else and just coding. And we did it basically like first year and just pushing out, being extremely like fast delivering product. We recently understood that we need to again being very, very like effective. So that's why we basically moved our engineering system again into the missions that every team is focusing and independent and can deliver without being disrupted some other things. Yeah, one thing about culture, because I'm big believers that how you win this game, you need to have every single team member aligned what you do and believe what you do. So this is our original values, written how it's supposed to be. Even the biggest fight that we sometimes had was key people from US didn't like this word. But I think that like if you say everybody understand, you can tell, don't screw up. But I like give some power to the word. So I always say, don't fuck up as a people do. Everybody understand, okay. Screw up is a little bit like, it's correct word, it just doesn't have this power into the word. So anyway, this is how we basically have been running company, choosing every member. Also sometimes happen, we need to part, basically offboarding them because of those things. And trying to run daily, from morning to evening, all these things by that values. And this is important. So Pipedrive has been product company. We have been, from day one, heavily focusing building the best product. And marketing have been following us, following those things. Now, indeed, in that scale, what we are today, we have more than 400 people. We have 75 paid companies globally. The things are changing. But this was basically how we run from when we was 2 years old and so on. And we are from Estonia, so we had actually case and some Russian guys was contacting us and asked, can we be your research in Russia? It didn't feel too good. We said no. And then like 6 months later, somebody sent us email, wow, you have Russia, Pipedrive.ru, your new website, but it has different colors. It's like, what? We never had any Russian version. And what happened, somebody in Russia just took front end, copy-pasted, and was just, changing in front-end only color. And you can open, front-end code, and you can see Estonian words. What the hell? So anyway, this was the case that basically, and what you do, would you go to court in Russia? No way. You just don't do that, because you can just throw money to the whatever, the fire if you want. So we ignored them, but it again helped us make good story. Because first of all, we had fans already. And when those guys was running webinars, our fans showed up and said when they was finishing it, guys, this is copycat, original is there. Would you trust your business data for someone who steals from day one? Think about that. CRM, what data it is. So, and later we was building this blog post, and believe me or not, those guys helped us to open Russia, and later said, sorry guys, we're giving back your domain, you can do what you want. So we have been also trying to find stories to tell and so on, because it's extremely expensive to just run usual ads, running head-to-head with Salesforce or whatever, guys. It's impossible. Like, this was our original source how to get users. It has totally changed now, so you can't do that anymore. But we had, like, I think that when we was 2 years old, we got one moment half our sign-ups from this one, because we was the best, highest traded, CRM in Chrome Web Store. Again, it's not doing it anymore now, because it's not, you can't do it now, but it's just ideas. other thing, like, you know, Quora, we was long time, basically, I was personally build my relation with clients, help them. And one moment ask help. Can you, you know, do you like Pipedrive? Okay, great. Do you love Pipedrive? Yes. Can you do me a favor? This favor. Like I literally was going to client and asked them, can you please do that? Think about co-founder sending you email or whatever message and doing. Actually, many people said, yeah, absolutely, because I love your product. So I basically, my mailbox was full always. So I'm the lucky one who have met like 1,000+ clients personally in my life from our like product. So I know I'm over the time, so I'm just finishing the 2 minutes. Other thing, indeed, you know, like the mobile version was our priority from the first day one. The same thing. You just need to be sure that if you're launching it, you have the best reviews. And nowadays, there are a huge battle again, but we really picked the areas where we take the battle and where we want to be the best. And by the way, this was never asked by me. It's just one day we was like, wow, somebody writing blog post like that. Which really, we was like shocked in good way. Because usually people don't tell they love B2B software. They just tell, you know, Instagram is so cool, you know, whatever, I'm just loving this and that. But we really made effort to build this relation between clients and our software so good. Like this also, by the way, it involves customer support. Like I really love our customer support because we have been trying to train them the best in the world. We take calls, we reply emails and so on. And this really makes difference. This is a very unusual source that we used for getting clients. When we reached 10,000 again, it was the most read news, you know, again. Just those unique things which is takes time to polish, but it can give you like difference. The last one. So basically, come on, like how many people have been in sauna? Oh my God, that's okay, 20%. So this is culture in Estonia, you know, in Finland as well, but not in California. So what we did, basically, we invited our investors to the Estonia, and we did this kind of like crash course for them. The first was firefolking, because actually you can walk on the like hot fire, like whatever and you will not die, by the way. You will survive, and there is some magic around that. And so they was basically running on the hot coals, you know, and then we pushed them into sauna. And so it was like, oh my God, we have never done anything like that, you know. And you know, the good news is that if you're in sauna, you know, there is nothing which is between you, everybody, and naked part is not important, but it's more important that you are like, all this mobile phone, other things stays out, and you can have really human level, you know, like talk, if you don't put too much heat indeed, because then you want to run out. And then we basically hinted this thing into the Business Insider. And that day this was the most shared news among all investors in Silicon Valley. It was like, oh my God, so nowadays you need to go to sauna to get basically meeting with startup, whatever, you know, and it was like, those guys are crazy. But this is just our way how to build that we are different, you know, that's just how people can memorize us. And this was just, we later on received some great investors. Okay, so if someone wanna use, and is not using still Pipedrive, this is promo code, easy it is, just my first name. It will give you much longer free trial. I try to be around more like hour or two. I need to run later on, so you can catch me, you can ask questions. But this is it. Thank you, guys.